Hello, I'm AJ, I'm your HYPOXiX coach for today, and we have level 2.2 pressing sumo. So we're gonna add that level 2 breathography, those 2-beat breath retentions at the conclusion of that 8-second exhale. And make sure when you do that 8-second exhale, you're loosening the ribbon around the waist. And every time you go into a breath retention, whether it's a 2-beat, a 4-beat, 6, 12-beat, and some of the isolated core exercises, your goal is to keep that ribbon loose around the waist for the entire breath retention. So the breath retention is as much a core exercise, stillness with the core, as we create stillness with the breath, stillness with the nervous system. So you're training multiple systems when you do that breath retention. As we add in that level 2 breathography, it's a good point to focus on. So pressing sumo, we're 3 stride lengths, turning to the front, the feet are 15 degrees. Now here, I'm bringing my arms up to a 90-degree angle, my palms are facing my ears, and I'm pushing out through my elbows as much as possible. When I sit down to the seat, I'm pulling my shoulder blades together. I'm retracting or pinching my shoulder blades together, and then I push them apart when I come upright. Now I am continuously pulling my feet together so hard, so if the floor was slippery, the feet would come together like this. So we're getting a lot of inner thighs with this pressing sumo. Now here, we want to keep the spine totally upright and vertical versus hinging from the hip like we do with the natural squats. We're staying nice and upright here, up, down, 2, 3, and we're using the chair as a guide. But if you feel movement in the low back, then you shouldn't go all the way down to the chair. So sometimes you can start with your hand on your low back here, and the gaze is absolutely panorama the whole time. That helps with calming the nervous system. Sometimes I'll bring my hands out like this, and I'll ask myself, where's the last point in my panorama on both sides that I can see my hands? That's your panorama view. And if you want to dive deeper into the fundamentals, always go back to a 0.1 video. In this case, it would be a 2.1. So we have 3 breath cycles today with that 2-beat. Breath retention, zip, up, inhale. Hiss, 2, 3, 4, 5, inhale 1, inhale 2, and blow. I'm scrunching my arches on the way down. Hold for 2. Pause the movement on the inhales. Inhale. Loosen that ribbon, hold for 2. Inhale 1, 2. Hold for 2. Whew, amazing. This movement right here, this is setting you up to overhead press with good shoulder mechanics. So even though we're not adding resistance to the arms yet, this level 2, the arms in this position, it's prepping you to have nice shoulder mechanics, the elbows a little in front of the shoulders, so that when you get to that overhead press, you have nice mechanics in your shoulder to not get injured in the overhead press, which actually is a pretty common injury with the overhead press because it puts a lot of demand on the shoulders. Excellent work, and see you in the next video.